Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2 India Edition, where we're now witnessing our brand new train delivering planks to our huge distribution harbour here in Mumbai. It was quite the big project. We had a lot of fun and a lot of chaos, and I learned something about having double lines leading into the same station on double tracks, which was very, very interesting. But for the first time ever, boys, we got planks now about to be delivered. Now, these planks are coming into this huge train station, which will be known as our distribution hub, which links to the sea and a bunch of ships right now. It's earned 5 million big ones. That is absolutely crazy. Because we have now ships coming to and from Mumbai, leading all the way over to here in Chadbahar right now, which we've pretty much got set up the ability to eventually bring over machines to distribute them to all of the towns and cities on mainland India. It's a big one, guys. We've got it set up right now. We can bring all types of goods. It's not going to just be machines. All types of goods can be shipped over to Mumbai, as we've now turned it into this major hub and have a bunch of cargo trains coming in and out, distributing the goods between so we can feed and fuel all of the cities. It's a huge project. So much, in fact, that this is not even phase 1 complete of this huge project, and we're going to be continuing it in today's episode. We've got so much work we've got to get done. I hope you guys are excited about this and are hyped for this episode. If you are, please smash the like button down below. Subscribe if you're new right here so you get notified when more episodes do come out. Now, what we did last episode was we built this harbour, which we're going to use to bring a ton of goods in and out. And because of that, we've had to create a really big cargo train station so we can have multiple trains coming in, picking up and dropping off goods needed for the cities on mainland India. Now, we have the main commuter line for passenger trains that are going to tear through here anyway. That's going to pretty much run down this side of the coastline. We've got that in, so we're all good. And what sparked me to build this is because a lot of the towns and cities require machines, and I don't really have anything good that can build machines on mainland India at the moment. But over here we have 3 machine factories that we need to fuel. Now, we've already going to be bringing wood over. You just seen the timber be delivered to the harbour, which will eventually be shipped over as this does connect up to all 3. Now, we haven't had any deliveries. That's the first time it's coming in, and that's coming all the way from our wood industry up here. Now, we've got to build and rejig this line to make it a lot more efficient, because right now the trains are having to hold up themselves because we have no bypassing route on this station. Another thing that we've got to do is we've also got to supply these machine factories with steel. That's a bigger task than you actually think it's going to be, like an actual huge task, which we'll get onto a little bit later in this episode. I just want to make the wood run first as efficient as I possibly can. Now, the issue is with this wood run right now, we're picking up wood from here, this sawmill, and that's being delivered to the tools factory over in Pune over here. Now, that's great, perfect, and it wasn't an issue when I built it because it shares the platforms, it's all good. But now I'm utilizing the sawmill up here, which is now delivering the wood all the way into the Mumbai harbour to be taken over to the tool machine factories in the distance. Now, with that, it has to go through this station, which means the trains have to keep stopping and starting and waiting. We need to turn this into a bit of a bypassing station so it can just zoom through, no issues, no waiting, no stress, no dramas. And like I said before, it's easier said than done. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm waiting for the station to be pretty much cleared out right now, which means waiting for this train to go. There's another train coming in, which I think that might be the Mumbai route. There we go. Is it? Yes, it is, which is now having to wait. So we'll wait for that train to go. We'll quickly pause, and we've got to do some kind of configuring is the best way to put it, right? Now, what I'll do is I'll start by deleting these roads as a form of connection, because we're going to have to completely rejig all of this. So get rid of you, and then delete all of the cargo platforms running down to here. And something else I've got to do as well is, because the train tunnel begins there, I'm actually going to move this back a couple So there's room here to do our crisscross, which I'll take the crisscross away from over here, pull it up there, hopefully, and the bending in lines as well. There's a lot to do. There is a lot to do. Now, with that said, I'm also going to get rid of the line leading up to here, which will push the train further up the tracks. So I can extend this station, which at the moment is technically not a station. So train tracks, there we go. And make it a little bit longer to kind of get back the length that I've just deleted, but also make it a little bit longer in general. So we can have more cargo on here if it starts to get a little bit more busier. Now, obviously, we need 4 sets of train tracks because the middle 2, the original train tracks there, which were part of the line, are now going to be pretty much the bypassing side of it. Then we need cargo getting set up, which I've literally just messed up that platform, which is so annoying. But that's okay, boys. All right, get you all done. Delete this one I just messed up. Put it back in. Very good. And then cargo buildings, which will drop this big boy here, and I'm going to drop this big boy here. So there shouldn't be any issues now. So without doing anything else, if I just get the road to now connect to it, there we go, and the road here to connect to it, there we go. Now this train station should connect to all of them, which is perfect. It's exactly what we want it to do. So all I've got to do now then is get the train line to connect up to where it was originally going to go. But then we have the old crissy-crossies and angles kicking in. So to there, and do I have the ability to run a crisscross here? All right, don't play these games with me today, boy. Don't play these games with me today. We can, which means I can get rid of this crisscross, which gives me a little bit of breathing space. I'm going to get rid of... No, we'll keep that signal there because I can then utilize to put a signal here as well. Because the other crisscross, which I believe... Actually, no. It just moves it away from this junction a little bit more, which makes my life a little bit easier. Now, obviously leading in, I'll put the signal there on that crisscross so they can stop. And we should be all good. Now, doing this as well. We're going to bend you in. Now, I haven't got to be as close-knit on this side as I was on the other side. But we'll give ourselves, again, a little bit of breathing space and a signal, which would then go there. So making sure there's no issues. There's always going to be issues, but we're just going to make sure there's no issues right now. There is some issues. It is the 2 wood runs right now because they don't know what they're doing. So let me get rid of that station to put it on here. And we'll allow it to utilize both sides. So if there's a train on one side of it, it can also come on the other side. That does it perfectly, but then we need the Punar planks line. So manage this line. We'll get rid of the here, add you back in. And when it gets here, utilize both sides. We're all good. So now that run, the Mumbai wood run that goes up there can literally bypass through this whole station if there's trains either side loading and unloading. Makes my life so much easier, okay? Makes my life so much easier, and the wood can constantly just keep getting delivered. We're all good. So that's just one of the many things that I've got to still yet to get done. That's perfect. That will run a lot smoother right now. It might get a second delivery before a ship actually makes its way over. The ship on the way to collect. Right now it's here. It might even get 3 deliveries in that time. You just never know. You honestly just never know. There's a lot of planks of wood over here already waiting to be picked up. So as we get bigger carriages in the future, there's definitely going to be a lot more stuff we can kind of get sorted. This is already exciting. This is already exciting. So that's just one part I've got to get done to bring more goods down here. Perfect. Now, right, we've got to figure out how we're getting the steel to this machine factory. That's a bigger challenge than you believe. Now, how it's going to work here is the wood gets dropped off the harbour, which because the harbour connects to them, it touches, the wood gets delivered. Now, if we can get the steel here, it means that the machines will get placed on the harbour and taken back on the opposite direction to Mumbai, which we can distribute to all the towns and cities. The thing is, we need steel, okay? We need steel. Now, I've got the train station in the middle here. Now, it's going to be pretty much the same kind of setup to how I've done that train station in Mumbai. It's just pretty much there to allow multiple trains to lead in so we can have multiple goods go on the shipping on the harbour. So, we've kind of last episode picked out what we're going to pretty much use for steel. And it's going to be these 3 steel plants over here. So we've got to deliver coal and ore to it. And we found here there is a nice big coal section. And there's a nice big ore section just there. There's a few smaller ones dotted around as well. I don't really want to utilize them. There was some there. There was one there. There's one up here as well. But this gives us the most bang for our buck and the ability to kind of connect it all in. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start by building a train station here. And we're going to run a direct line that goes all the way down. I'm not sure where it's going to run. All the way down to the harbour. Then from that, we're going to try and implement the ore and coal runs into it. Again, I'm not sure how it's going to go. I'm not sure what the best method is going to be right now. Because that's going to kind of come around and bend up. I could run it this way. And then in. And then get these to run in with it as well. It's going to be quite the challenge, but I am all here for the challenges. Now, the question is, right, I'm going to build a new train track here. Is it time I start using higher speed train tracks? Will the cargo be able to get up to that speed? I'm not 100% sure, okay? I'm not 100% sure. Also, another issue I've got right now is the stuff like this here. Do I kind of just push it over as a bridge? This is where all this stuff right now is going to annoy me. You know what I mean? Let's just keep it simple. So, I want to run... Right, this is going to kind of bend out. But I want to run a train line going all the way down to here. Now, for the majority of it, it's going to go underground. It's going to bridge up and stuff like that, which I don't like it when you build it in such vast areas. So I think the idea would be not to build it in such a long, vast section to begin with. So if I build to here... Now, that placement there has now completely determined the straight line that is now going to be created by this train track. So let's just kind of go in segments right now, because if I build it in small segments, the terrain doesn't go absolutely crazy. You know what I mean? I mean, it's gone crazy there, but we can kind of fix all that. All right, build it in sections. And then you don't get these wild bridges. We'll kind of use the terrain tool as well to kind of fix a lot of this stuff. We're bringing this straight down. Now, I do have kind of like a multitude of options of how I can run the coal and the ore into all of this. You see what I mean there with it trying to bridge up? I don't mind the bridges. Well, I'm lying, guys. I don't like the bridges. But I think it looks weird doing a bridge over plain land. Bridges have got to go over something. Like a river or whatnot. So it kind of dips up and then drops down. That's kind of cool. I do like that. Right, that's a nice straight run that we're going to work with right now. It is a nice straight run. So let's sort out some terrain in. Let's just increase all of this. The strength, the brushes and all that. And that's on smooth. So let me just smoothen all this out. Because I've got to make sure that, you know, it looks good. This is part of my OCD right now. I've got to do the small things, boys. The small things need to kind of be sorted out. Right, there we go. I'm not sure how I feel about this road here, but I think the terraining will kind of change my mind slightly on it. Which is all good. Oh, good. Very nice, very nice. So, let's now build our little train station that will ultimately connect to the steel and stuff. Actually, no, before I decide that, I've got to decide how is the coal and ore going to connect into it. Now, ideally, we would kind of like it where they simultaneously manage to get to here at the same time, where it's equal distance. So if I built a train station there that kind of come out and then connected in, and then this, I could connect it there. Or I can make this go around to connect to that line to connect in, to kind of force that to be a little bit longer than it should be. Because if I can get them to deliver at the same time, they then get the same amount and produce the same amount, and it's not one delivering more than the other, which means we always don't have enough product of one good, if that makes sense. It happens all the time with me. It does happen all the time. So I actually reckon we start with building these train stations here first. Because we've got the how it's going to set up. We know how it's going to set up in reality, don't we? Right, so what's the longest train station I can build here? Right, I can go for that length, which is absolutely fine. I'm going to make it longer anyway. Oh, do you know what I should have done? Save myself some time. 2 tracks. Because that's literally all it needs to have is 2 sets of tracks. And then we're just going to make it longer ourselves. Right, select it, edit it, platforms. Because you're not going to have that many trains coming in. I'll probably have at most 2, maybe 3 at a push. It all depends on how much demand we are going to have. Now, we've got to make sure that it connects to this side as well. So to do that, we are going to bring a road. If I bring a road across like this, and then just bring it down to connect to there. Oh, it's not connecting to this one. Okay. I thought we were going to have a connection there, but it turns out no. Right, very awkward. Just roll with it. But that now connects to all 5 coal mines. That's wild. That is absolutely wild. Now, what I'm going to do is get my train tracks here and then run across like that. It does create a tunnel there. Actually, do I want it there? I don't think I want it there, do I? All right, make sure I got this right. So where's it creating bridges? It's creating bridges there. I don't like the bridges being in random spots. If I connect it directly to the road, that's one way to do it, isn't it? All right, bring you down. A little bit of a tunnel. Don't mind the tunnels. I just don't like the bridges when they go over nothing. I like the bridges to have meaning of what they're going over. Right, that goes across there. So that's now determined the straight line running all the way up. Now, this is where I've got 2... I'm in 2 minds right now with what I could potentially do. Right, I hear elevation, which I don't like. I'm in 2 minds to either make this merge into that current existing line, or ultimately run it as a separate line. Now, there's no need to run it as a separate line other than being as efficient as I could potentially be. There's no need to do it. Now, if I pick, for example, there and turn in, that almost maintains the 120 speed, although it's not going to do it to the full extent. That is the connection there running down. Okay. So we just got to lead this now in, which I'm hoping it's just your standard and simple bending. And we do have a road involved here, but I'll do the crisscross there. Right, that sorts that out. And it runs directly up, and it will bend in. But then, right, I've got to make the ore train here connect to this. Now, when it ends at the station, I'll build the station first before I explain what I'm going to try and attempt to do. Actually, let me see if I can get... Is it possible to get a road here to connect to all of them? I can connect to 2 of them. But I can't get a connection there. Let me see. How far over do I need to push it? That works there. And then Trains, buildings. Right. I'll push it to here on this. Actually, no, I'll push it onto that side. And I'm going to push it right back to about... Well, it's got to connect to that building as well. So it is going to have to... Actually, no, it can go there. I can just add an additional building or road connection to the building, if that makes sense. So if I was to add... What could I fit in? These are way too big. Should I just go for this? Is that enough to... Yeah, to cause that connection. And this is a little bit further away, but I'm just hoping a simple road leading in is enough to connect to all 5, which it is. Now I'm going to quickly terrain it. Right, well, I could make it longer and bigger, but I'm not going to just yet. Now, this is the question, okay? Or the answer, or the thing I'm trying to figure out. When the coal train leaves here to go to the train station up there, I want it to get there the same time if a ore train left here. Now, obviously, that's a shorter distance. So what I'm trying to say is, if I create the connection to here, if a train left both stations, I want them to get to there at the same time. So that means here, I'm going to have to kind of bring it out and then make the bend very, very slow, like in terms of speed. So the speed and time it takes to go around there, when that leaves, it can get up to speed a lot quicker. You see where I'm going with this? You see what I'm trying to attempt here? Meaning, if I created a bend, which I don't think it will go down too well. But if I can make them this bend a lot shorter, so it mimics going around here, it will get to the steel plant at the same time. You get what I'm trying to say? And then that will allow them to have equal rate of delivery. You could also change it by having different cargo size as well. So bring this out a little bit further. Now that bend there, I'm hoping the difference in speed would mean as it goes around there and the speed it has to slow down to turn, once it gets to this point here, that train hopefully would be have full momentum to catch that train up. That makes sense? Now, granted, it has to run into here as well. We have to kind of collide it. But I reckon I'll allow it to kind of get up to speed a bit more before I do bring it in. Then we'll sort out some signals. So you're there. You're there. You're there. So just put the signals on that little section to begin with. We've got to do the crisscross. Now, obviously, it won't go and won't fully work as I explained it there, because obviously it could be a case of the ore train cuts in, it will slow down the coal train, and the coal train has to pick back up speed again. But you kind of get the idea of where I'm trying to go. Hopefully, it's staggered enough where that doesn't happen that often. But never say never, okay? Never say never. Now, zoomy right in. Signal-wise, we're going to get this now all sorted. Bam. Bam. So just doing the signals on the junctions, more importantly. And then let's build this train station over here. Now, I think what I'm going to do, because the buildings look a bit mishmash all on this side. So if I connect to there, that road connects to all of them, so I can just treat this as an end station. It's not often I build end stations. And awkwardly, I might do a 4 platform. Because we're going to have a multitude of trains leading in. Well, that connects to all 3. And some of them, obviously, are going to go down to the harbour. So they don't need to intertwine and interact, is the best way to put it. Actually, I'm going to delete that. Because what I'll do, I'll utilise this as the main line. Where the other one kind of connects and bends in. So bringing this down. Could I create that? That's not a great line to look at. Now that's gonna bridge over, which I will go with that, and I'll do a steel bridge. Bringing this over as well. And then this is quite a sharp turn, so they will have to slow down. Now that makes me want to then delete back, delete back, delete back, delete back. Which then have to drop down to a 108, 109, 103. I don't mind it too much because they're slowing down anyway as they approach the station. And then this line here, right, we'll get this to merge there and to merge there. So it's pretty soon, and then your crisscross then takes place here. So we give all the lines the ability to use all 4 platforms. So if there's, again, a train on a platform, they've got 3 other ones to choose from, and so on and so on. Now, by that logic, I'm also going to implement a building-wise for the trains. If I get the train track, so the crisscross has taken up place there. But if I can bend this just slightly out, I'm going to build, if I can rotate it, the train depot just there. And then that should do exactly what I need to do. Now, obviously, I'm missing signals, but let's just get everything now set up to the point where we're able, right, we are going to be able to have coal and ore trains coming in and out. I'll use this road as the little waiting point. And I don't know how often we're going to have trains and stuff, so I'm going to do a fair few signals there. A set of signals there. Set of signals there, and the crisscross is just there. Crisscross on this one will be just there. I'll do a set of signals here on the bend, because you never know how often you're going to need them, right? Oh, I should have done the signals here, and get rid of these ones instead. Because I'm just using the roads as an excuse to drop the signals on. Don't need to do it like that, but it's kind of cool that we can. So, we can actually now set up the coal and ore runs. So there to there. So this is coal, so I'll make it black, the line. And we'll call it our... It's all going to run to Anardara, if that's how you pronounce it. So I'm going to call it the Anar... coal, and obviously we make sure that they can utilize all the platforms. There we go. Another new line there to there, and we'll make this one bright orange, so it's very easy to understand then what these lines actually do. There we go. Add that in. So I think from the get-go then, we'll just utilize one train, and then when the stations get overloaded, we'll then bring in the next trains. So we're going to go electric. Well, we do have diesel trains, but they're not powerful enough yet, and I don't think these are decent electric trains. So I'm going to keep it steam for now. We are going to keep it steam. We'll go build date, and we can go for this big boy Russian class. We got the Russian class there. That one does 115. What is the speed of the carriages we can do in terms of cargo? So we're looking at gondolas, which they do 80 at best. If you're looking at build date anyway, I should be really looking at capacity. Gondolas, yeah, they do 80 at best. Fair enough. Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. So let me go back to build date on these. And now it's a case of what is not that expensive. See, the Flying Scotsman's pretty good. It does 120. I don't need it to go that quick. But it's the tractive power... tractive effort and power I'm looking at. Now, this Russian class SU here... Yeah, it doesn't have the as much power. But I'm also looking at price. Price is a big factor. But then this China Railways one is cheaper. It does 80, which I can't go any faster than 80 because of the carriage speed. We're going to go for China Railways, boys. Controversial, but let's just go with it. Capacity-wise, we need gondolas. There's only 2 gondolas here. One emits more, but we'll go for the one that emits less. Oh, this one weighs less. We'll go with this one, because that makes a big difference as well when you're buying as many as we're about to buy. A 180 capacity. That sounds wild, doesn't it? But I'm going to go with it and just see if that engine can handle it. So, Anar coal and Anar ore. Right. This is interesting. This is definitely going to be interesting right now. So allow the trains to head out. Now, 80 kilometers is what the top speed... not only the engine can go, but what the carriages can also go. So bear that in mind. Bear that in mind. So that's the coal train that's going to go first. Now, we want to see what speed it can kind of get up to when it's fully loaded. Just to understand if it was the right idea to build that style of train. Right, that's now going. So these should be, yeah, dropping coal on the platform, dropping ore in a platform. There's so much, in fact, that I could also get a secondary train, even a third train on both lines. Well, off it goes then. So what I'm interested to find out then is when that fully loads up, that might be heading up on the way back before that other ore train even gets round here. Who knows? I'm interested to kind of see the differences. Okay, that's what I'm interested to find out. Is the main differences. These guys over here, okay? There's a lot of stuff going on over here, isn't there? A lot of stuff, boys. A lot of stuff. Right. Anyway, let's keep our eyes peeled on this. So its main thing at the moment is what is the speed when it's fully maxed out in terms of cargo capacity. That's our first question we need the answers to. So loading up at 180. Now what speed can it get to? That's now heading in for the first time to pick up some ore. So it will have to kind of also deal with going slightly uphill then going slightly downhill. That's now fully loaded. So this is where we see this corner come into play. I know that left way sooner. That's at 80, so we've got no stress with it reaching its top speed. That has to bend round. I still feel like that ore train would beat it. It would beat it 9 times out of 10. Because now it's right behind it. But the more, I've slowed it down a little bit anyway, so that's all I can do, right? That's all I can do. Right, that's got the ore and the coal being delivered. Now, I can add additional trains to these lines to frequent the deliveries, but that will now give these the ability to produce steel. So, if they can now produce steel, I need steel delivered to the machines' factories. So, I've got to run this line right down now and bring it in. Now, I don't know where lines are going to come from and what additional goods I'm going to bring over here. I haven't got a clue, okay? Have not got a Scooby-Doo. So, we'll only bring it into one side of the tracks, or one side of the platform, or one side of the station, however you want to look at it. Right, just trying to continue to build these in segments and stages. And we've got to meet this down here. So that's going to be, at some point, quite the drop. So that does want to pop into a tunnel. Only very briefly, just there. But it also has to meet going up here as well. Obviously, it just seems wild to go that length. So I'm going to bring it down to where I kind of feel comfortable to where the bend could potentially begin. Because the straighter the line, the faster it can go without any hiccups. So that would cause a bridge there, a crossroads there, and a tunnel there. Okay. I'm going to bring this out to here. Bring this a bit further down. And I think we'll see if we can start a bend going on now. So that is going to bridge there, which I don't like it. So we'll kind of keep it like that. It then tunnels under the town slightly. It does pop out there, which I don't want it to do that. So I'll kind of confirm the build anyway. And we're going to come back and edit that in just a minute. So let me just delete you and you. And then the terrain will smoothen. So it slightly raises it. Still does it. So let me raise it all entirely. Was that even raising? Well, I'm going to raise it dramatically right there. And then smoothen it. There we go. It's like it wasn't even there in the first place. So that brings us all the way down, which is glorious. Bit of an incline, but that's okay. Do you know what? I'm not going to have this tunnel here. I like the idea of being able to see all these trains leading in. Because this is just as important as a distribution hub as the one in Mumbai. So we're smoothing this out. And this is something that will just kind of naturally keep being built upon as we progress through the series. So let's go back into play mode right now. There's no need to fast forward as quick. So I don't know how many of these lines will connect to this line. I don't know if lines will go straight forward. I don't know. So until then, I'm going to put the crisscross a little bit further down because we just don't know just yet. So that there at least gives me a little bit of breathing space to play around with. Now, I'll do these set signals just here in the tunnel. We'll do a set just here. We'll do a set here on the crossroads. That just gives us the ability to kind of utilize both areas. There we go. And then we'll do one more here. And then that's it. We're now working full speed. So, this is quite a long line. So a new line from here to here. And we'll make it like a silvery color. So this is going to be our Chab. We'll call it Chab Steel because this is where it's going to deliver it to. Chab Steel. And of course, make them utilize all the platforms that will be currently available. Very good. Very good. So we'll use the same train because we know we can get it to that speed. That's not an issue, not a problem. So it was the China Railways train here. Cargo, we've got it on capacity, so we need the biggest flat car with stakes. Now this can carry 12. It's pretty much the same as the other ones. There's only 2 variations. We'll go the one that's a lot lighter. And we'll also give this a 180 capacity as well. Now, there is some distance on this, so I'm going to buy 2 straight off the bat. So, Chab Steel. Okay. There we go. So, these should... Now, they need 2 for 1. But these, once they've got the goods, should keep consistently producing. Now, if I manage the vehicles on that line, Anna Ore and Anna Coal, and we duplicate, and we duplicate, so we got 3 trains on each of those lines. That's going to mean it's going to be very busy as they all now pull out of here. But that should really now pump up the amount of product moving and the amount of money that we're now going to be making. So this could mean then, once this coal train delivers, we could potentially see our first bit of steel being produced. And we'll only get 1, because there's only 2 here currently available. So, do we see any steel being produced? Yes, we've got 1 piece of steel, which is just there. It's kind of funny, isn't it? But let it do what it's got to do, okay? Let it do what it's going to do. Now, even though steel gets delivered here, it still will not produce the machines. Solely because Yes, we have set up the ability for the ships to take the steel over here, but we don't have a single route yet created that will deliver steel anywhere. Now, Bangalore needs steel. Sorry, not steel, sorry, machines. Bangalore needs machines, so I'm going to create my first line for picking the goods up and then taking it to Bangalore, because Bangalore has tools already going in. So we'll make this like a light bluey color for the machines, and we'll call it Bang Machines is what we'll call it. So in Mumbai then, we've got to figure this out. So we've discovered, because the way we set this up, I can't get them to go to all 8 platforms. It's either 1 to 4 or 5 to 8. So I'll make this go to 5, which means it makes life easier to go to these 4 here instead. And in Bangalore, we make sure you can utilize... Oh, no, it can't do that because the way... That's the other side of the commuter line, isn't it? So it has to go to that one. Right? That's right, isn't it? Hold on. 1 and 2. Did I get to go to the right one? Yes. 1 or 2. You can only go to that because that's where the cargo platform is. Right. So now I've got that set up. I'm just going to buy a train for it. Where would the train line come out? It will come out of here, wouldn't it? No, that goes on the high-speed train line. But didn't I get set up somewhere? Where's the ability to crisscross over? Or where can I pull a train from? For that line. I'm actually not sure where I set up the trains for it. I'm really confused. I didn't pull it out of here, did I? I mean, I can pull it out of there. That's not an issue. So again, we're going to keep to the Steam. Build date. Now, I don't need... Oh, hello. Have new trains just got unlocked? I think so, but we are still limited to the size of what we can do. So build date. I don't need something big because it's not going to be able to carry much because the deliveries are going to be very, very infrequent. So I need something that the running costs are going to be pretty low. Now that's super high. So we're looking down here. Now that PLM ain't too shabby. It's not the most powerful. But it's all about running costs. I might go for the Russian class here instead. Yeah, let's do the Russian class. This comes down to operating costs a year now, guys. That's all it comes down to. So capacity-wise, is it boxcars we need for machines? Yes. Now, obviously the lightest one, which is you. And I'll do a 48 capacity. That seems kind of wild. I'll do a 36 capacity to begin with. This will be trial and error. So we have our first one set up. So that does mean then, when we get steel delivered, it will officially be able to produce the machines and put them on the platform and then take them over to Mumbai. So in reality, this whole system technically is done. It's just not efficient yet. Okay? It's just not yet efficient. So there's a lot of trains here going to be queuing and waiting up to get in. I can see us at some point dividing the coal and ore line from the steel line. I can see that eventually happening in the future. So there's steel being created and still hopefully going to be delivered. Is there any steel on this train? There is none on this train yet. We have 2 trains on it, don't we? So that one coming out right now will be the first time steel will get delivered. Yeah. So trains coming in and out. There we go. I'm not sure if that will run straight out right now. The platform that's currently on means that this train does have to stop. But we should see a lot more steel now being produced. A lot more ore and coal being delivered. So with that running into that one, it means this next train, which what I might do, guys, just for now, is kind of allow the signals to get a bit closer as they lead in. Because they're going to be lining up like a traffic jam anyway. So I might as well, allow them to do what they've got to do. Allow them to line up a bit closer. Right, that's a little bit too close. Obviously, I clearly can't get a train in there on that signal. And I don't expect them to be able to get to there. I think it will overhang here as well. But you never know. Let me see when this train kind of gets to there. There's the back end of it. No, that will be fine. It all stops perfectly. So it allows me to bring, you know, if multiple trains are coming in right now, it allows me to bring them all in together. Which that there is now set up where this train can also come in as well. Right, now because there's 3 steel plants, it'll take a while before we're fully like up and running and rocking and rolling. Right, did we get the steel delivered? The steel's about to be delivered now, so this should be quite a big payday, if I'm being honest with you. Not full capacity, but the distance means we got 3.8 million in return. So that's now got its steel, it's got its planks delivered, and it's actually just produced its first set of machines. How amazing is that? So there's an actual ship coming in right now, filled to the brim with wood. How much wood is on this platform? 210, sorry. So that's now going to load up. Now, as it stands right now, these ships only make money picking wood up and then dropping it down. And before, they were then losing money going back to pick up the wood. But now as they bring the machines back as well, it means they now make money in both directions. So I'll have to wait for, obviously, that train delivering machines to Bangladesh. Bangalore, sorry. I do apologise. I'll have to wait for that one to make money until machines get delivered. Now, did it pick up? It has picked up. It's picked up 56, which means that's more than what that train can currently hold. It has like a 36 capacity, if I believe. So that means that train can do 2 journeys before it runs out of machines to deliver. But the second ship coming in, fingers crossed, if we can get the deliveries more frequent, right, it'll be fully maxed out. That's what we're kind of hoping for. So there's 89 there, which means a steel train is just left, completely filled to the brim. That's amazing. And I think we need to sort out the signals here to allow the trains to leave a little bit more frequent as well. So if I put a signal just there as well, just so they can leave more frequently. But yeah, I can see this being really overloaded. So there is ways in which we can make it a lot more efficient. I could theoretically run the coal and ore train as a separate line leading in to these 2 platforms. So there's 100% ways in which we can do this, guys. 100% ways in which we can do it. So this is just a case of just letting them get on with it now, isn't it? There's still a lot of goods on the platform, so we could make the trains bigger. We could add more trains. But I think increasing the capacity of the trains is the way to go forward. Right. We've got a long way before that train does come in. We've got the train there fully maxed out with 180. They require... It's a 1-to-1 to produce the machines. How much wood do they have? Do they have... Yeah, they've all got their fair bit of wood. So this delivery of steel right now will keep them producing. We've got 30 currently waiting here right now, so we'll see what happens with that. Where's that ship anyway? Eventually we will have bigger and better ships as well, but that's how it works. You could argue training it in would be a lot quicker. But the ships allow me to have versatility. Allows me to have points, and allows me to transport all different kinds of goods at the same time. So just give them their time. That's what you got to do, is just give them time. There's 51 there now. 54, that number will just keep increasing. And these should be big money maker runs. These should be big money makers. Right, loving it, boys. It will be harder to level these up because there's 3 of them all at once, but at least we can triple the output. Right, another steel train's on the way down. I think it's on the way down, right? Is it? Is this a... Yeah, there's a steel train there. Not fully maxed out yet, though. Not fully maxed out on that one. These are still got the goods as of right now. And there's 90 goods to pick up. That ship coming back right now, that one did 56. So this one's gonna be maxed out with steel. No, machines. I keep getting steel, machines, and tools all mixed up. With machines is what I'm trying to say. And we're about to have our first delivery of machines as well. Now, while we wait for that to get over there, the finances of this line in general means it's only made money when it delivers the planks of wood. And it's never made money going back. Now it makes money both ways, so we should see, hopefully, revenue every single year. Fingers crossed. Okay, fingers crossed. Now, the steel line, why is that stopped? Autosave. Okay, I was going to say then, why did it stop? Now, Chab Steel Finances is now instantly making profit, which is great. The Anor ore line is instantly making profit, and so should the coal line be making profit. So all those lines are making profit. Is the wood line here making profit, the Mumbai wood? That is, but it will go for a period where it's not able to complete a journey in a single year, which is not great, is it? So that could mainly be down to the fact that it's getting held up somewhere. It could be that it gets caught in the line trying to get in. I don't know. It could be a bit unfortunate for us there. I'm not too sure. We'll have to kind of keep our eyes on that one. But the line for Bang Machines, so Bangalore Machines, has not yet made any cash because we're yet to have a delivery until right now. This is exciting, boys. This is very exciting. So the Bang Machines train is not here yet, so that might then give us a bit of breathing space. Is that the train on the way down now? No, that's the plan. Oh, no, there's the Bang Machines train. Okay. Or is that the Bang Machines train? Who are you? Oh, you're the Bangalore Tools train. Okay. Right, here comes the money. For the first time ever, we're making money on the way back. 1.2 million. So, in terms, right, of this line in general, that's where the revenue is now sitting, which is great. Absolutely great. So there's now machines on the actual train station platform. So we'll have to now wait for Bangalore. Bangalore, there we go. Machines train to go back and then come back. I could, in a way, flip it round so I can make it go back and pick it up. But this might mess up somewhere along the line unless it can do it quicker. We're hoping it's not going to kind of crisscross with someone along the way. Because it is technically on the wrong side of the tracks. You know what I mean? It's going to meet another train in a minute. I can see it happening. Is it going to meet another train? Oh, that train's waiting. Right, we could be okay. Right, we've kind of had to turn it around and run the opposite way. But just bear with us, okay, guys? I just want to see it actually pick up some machines. So it has a 36 capacity. There is the train right now. So the Mumbai wood train is having to wait because of it. But it's just there on the horizon. That's now coming down. And as soon as it passes, the Mumbai wood train can then go. So it's no longer now messed up. It will adjust itself on the crisscrosses down here, is what it would do. And we're now pulling in. So in it comes. It will now load up. 36. And now it'll take 2 journeys to deliver what the ship delivered on its first run. It will take 3 journeys. No, 4 journeys. 5 almost, I reckon. If the ship delivered completely filled to the brim. So is 5 journeys enough before the next boat comes? Well, we're kind of hoping it would be. So Bangalore, for the first time ever right now, will get some machines delivered, which means Bangalore is getting both of its goods technically delivered. So where's this current train now? Where is this train? It's somewhere, but I'm not quite sure where it is. Oh, it's just here. Okay, it's still got a long way to go, but I want to see how much money it's actually going to make. It does have a long journey. But that's all part of it, guys. That's all part of the fun with what we've got set up. I reckon there's room here to implement another set of signals. There we go. So as soon as that passes there, it will allow this train to then go rather than having to wait to go a bit further down. So it gives us a few seconds of being able to kind of slightly speed up. So that's now following the tools train all the way in. So that will be beholden to where that currently is. Alright, we got a bit of game lag on the go right now. What's going on, boys? So that is now chasing down the tools train, which has had to wait, and I think it's had to wait for it to go through that little signal. There's a tools train continuing on. So it will reach that signal and give that one the green light to pass through, which it has. Right, there we go. We're all good. It's just playing the waiting game right now. So Bangalore then has been growing nicely. It has been growing nicely, and there's definitely a lot of room for it to continue to grow. It's been having a nice consistent delivery of tools, but for the first time ever, it's about to get some machines. Now, these machines have come from some distance, okay? They've been created and manufactured in a faraway land that has now going to get a beautiful delivery coming in. So, first we'll get a tool delivery. Of course we will. Which I believe that tool train is just here. Here is the machine train. So we might have to obviously have bigger deliveries coming in on the train for it to make profit. I don't know if this train can do one journey a year. That's the other wild thing about it. But it has to share only one singular platform though, so that's the only downside to it. It's only inefficient because the trains have arrived together at the same time, which is annoying. So, that train's now going to head out. Obviously, this train has to wait now for the train to disappear, and then we're officially going to get machines delivered to Mumbai. I keep getting machines and tools mixed up, and steel. It's hilarious. So, the train's now moving. And Bangalore, the first time ever, it's going to have machines. Here comes the train. Choo choo. Choo choo. So with 36 machines, 1.2 million. That's not bad, is it? It's actually not bad. So finances then, that pays. It's costing us. So one delivery pays for 2 years of not making any money just to break even. But hopefully we can have it consistently delivering something. I think it's now just delivered even more machines. There's 150 now waiting, so that's amazing. So once we get more delivery, we can then have additional trains delivering to additional cities. That's all we need it to do. So do we have any line losing money? I expect that Bangalore machine line to be losing money, which at the moment it's not. I don't have a single line losing any cash right now. We're making the most amount of cash from our Kabul crude oil line, which are doing pretty well there. But our new lines, Anar Coal, is our second most profitable line. There's Anar Ore. We should have the steel line doing pretty good somewhere. There's the Bangalore machines that we just delivered. There's the Chab steel as well. So all these new lines that we've created recently are some of our most highly profitable lines to date. Where's the shipping line? I can't see the... Oh, there it is. Oh, wow. That's also very profitable as well. The Mumbai wood is also very profitable. So all these new lines that I've now built to create this big cargo shipping run are among our most profitable lines yet. That is amazing. That is very amazing. And we're probably going to have to bring in more ships because now we need more wood deliveries. So obviously it's not the greatest thing to deliver it from all the way over here. But I reckon having an additional ship on this line wouldn't be a bad thing. So do you know what? Actually, how well was that route down? Okay, do you know what? We're going to add 2 more ships. We're going to hopefully increase it dramatically. Now, the problem is we would need to space them out a little bit better. So when one of them gets to the middle, we'll kind of then turn it back to go around. Is what we'll do. But at least that one will pick some goods up anyway. How much does it pick up from the get-go? Because we're now struggling for wood. Is the issue. So we won't produce as many machines because we're not having as many wood deliveries come in. So we got to figure out a way to kind of get wood here, not just relying on the Mumbai wood run. While it does help and it does make that ships make money on the way back, we got to figure some stuff out. Now, in reality, the closest wood area is over here, which is pretty much where we're bringing it from. But it's how we're bringing it over, which is why it's so slow. Unless I could maybe do something up here, but there's nothing wood related over there. It's a bit of a tricky one. We are kind of hindered to the location of where it's coming from. We're just not bringing it over frequent enough. Shipping's good. It's cheap. You can deliver and transport a lot of goods cheaply. What is that there? But it's also very slow. That's the only other downside to it. Now, one of these ships needs to be turned around. That's okay. It will be the... Oh, I don't know. One of these is empty, right? Which one's empty? It would have to be this one to get turned around. But I'll have to dramatically wait quite some time before it can. Before it's nicely evenly spaced out. I'll have to wait till that is about here. Before I do flip it. It's just unfortunately what we're going to have to do. It is unfortunately what we're going to have to do. Right. I might make the Bangalore Machines train, if I can find it, this one, have an extra carriage or 2. There we go. That way, if it does skip a year, it's carrying enough to pay for multiple years. That's what we'll have to do there. That's not a problem. These ships right now, still waiting a little bit longer before I can actually turn that one round so they're evenly spaced out again. It's going to get to about there, I reckon. Because there's that one. It's a little bit longer yet. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Is there a lot of ore in these platforms? There are. How are these doing? They need more coal. They need more coal deliveries. So, but they're about to get 2 coal deliveries coming in at once right now. So, is that just unfortunate timing that I looked at it? Potentially. Definitely lots more wood deliveries. Is there... Are we building up big planks here? We are, yes. We can make that train a lot bigger. But again, we're hindered by the capacity of a ship at 180. Right, can I turn this ship around now? I'm gonna. So hopefully we're nicely spaced out. Wood's now just being delivered. We'll have frequent shipping deliveries. Again, evenly spaced out, so there's always something happening. And there is a lot of machines waiting on this platform. Right. We're doing good. But how are we doing on our finances? We've had a record income year recently of a grand total of 176 million in income. Wild. Guys, we're going to end it here. I hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, please smash that like button down below. Until next time, I see you all soon. So goodbye.